Hello everybody, Devotee for Life here, bringing guys a brand new video. This time around we're going to be talking about the rest of the V-Jump stuff. Yes, I know I have not uploaded my video talking about the other stuff from Cybernetic Horizon. I meant to do it yesterday, but I completely forgot. And the reason why I'm skipping out on it till probably later tonight or tomorrow is because we got a lot of cool new stuff. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Cyberse. I really like this typing, the general playstyle of it. It reminds me a lot of Synchrons. And we got a lot of the new support announced for it from Cybernetic Horizon. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but a pretty good support amount among a bunch of other cards that I'm honestly more excited for than the Demise stuff. Because this stuff is really cool. We got the cover card, and it's a freaking Ritual Monster. What? And it's a Cyberse? Like, what the hell is going on? I have not been able to keep up with the anime, mostly just because I have not sat down to watch any anime whatsoever. I still haven't watched past, like, episode 12. The end of the first duel between Yusaku and Revolver. I know things are getting pretty crazy from what I've heard. And I guess they're bringing back the old blue. This is so weird. I love it. I can't wait to see what else we're going to get in Cybernetic Horizon. I'm sure you guys have seen a crap ton of videos already about these new cards, but I still want to give my 2 cents because I'm so excited. I freaking love Cyberse, and this new stuff is so cool. So our first card is the Ritual Monster Cypress Magician. He seems to be an upgraded version of Cyberse Wizard, or whatever the heck he was called. The dude from the first set who was honestly pretty darn bad. He was a super rare if I remember correctly. Him getting an upgrade that is basically a Dark Magician is really awesome. Oh yeah, it was Cypress Wizard, wasn't it, in the original? I can't remember. So Cypress Magician, level 7 Dark Cyberse Ritual Effect Monster. 2500 attack, 2000 defense. You can ritual summon this card with Signat Ritual. Have all damage you would take, which is pretty darn cool. Just being able to half everything, you know, not having to worry about taking as much burn damage, as much battle damage. I think... I almost want to compare this to Trapeze Magician, but Trapeze Magician just flat out negates it all. But it's almost like it. And then if you control a Link monster, your opponent cannot target your monsters for an attack or for a card effect, except for this one. Pretty good effect as well. Theoretically, if you get out 2 of these guys and have a Link monster out, your opponent just can't attack you, which is pretty cool. I like that, but I don't think you're going to be summoning 2 of these guys plus a Link monster. I mean, I don't know, maybe if like, I mean, it could be doable, but it's going to require a lot of setup. And then, when this card battles, a Link monster gains 1000 attack during the damage calculation only, which is pretty nice too. Kind of weird how a Cyberse like counters rituals, Links in that way. But I suppose that's probably going to be how Yusaku wins with this card. I don't know. I can already hear it now. Like, just, my monster has more attack power than yours. No, it might jumps up by 1000 when battling a Link. I just kind of get that feeling that that's going to be the general flow of that conversation in the anime. And finally, if he's destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add a Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. This is a nice effect, but I really wish it was destroyed by opponent's card effect or by battle. That would have been extra nice, just being able to just get anything very easily. I really would have preferred if it could also trigger off a battle, but getting it off a card effect is nice as well. Then we got Signat Ritual, which is pretty cool looking too. It's like the Cybernetic universe, like, you know, like in Signat Universe, the field spell, Cyverse Universe, I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of like that, but it's like all blue flames everywhere representing the ritual summon and stuff. But also could be representing a firewall and a bunch of other cool stuff. That's all technical jargon. Anyway, so it's pretty simple for a ritual spell card for the first effect. It's literally basically just ritual summon a Cyberse Ritual Monster from your hand by attributing monsters you control or have in your hand whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the monster you ritual summon. Pretty simple, standard ritual stuff. But then it gets really interesting with its graveyard effect, where you can banish it during the main phase, except the turn it was sent there. And 1 ritual monster from your graveyard, special summon 2 Signat tokens. Cyberse Light, level 4, attack 0, defense 0, in defense position. So this really does try to encourage you to play both a ritual-focused and a Link-focused Cyberse deck. Really cool card overall.
And that it just lets you not only get your ritual monster out, but then if your opponent kills your ritual monster, or if you get another one out, or maybe you use a Cypress Wizard for another one, or sorry, Magician for another one, you can then banish this and another, well, one of your rituals, get 2 tokens, and then just go off from there with either more Link summons or more ritual summons. Really good card overall in general. Interesting note is that since this card supports any ritual monster, it's going to be very interesting to see if this deck gets multiple ritual monsters and or multiple ritual spells. And it's even further supported by the final monster in this little trio here, Cyberse Witch, which, god dang it, I freaking love this artwork. It's so cool. She's so cool. I love her design. I love that staff. I love her coat. It's just, everything about her looks cool. Cypress Magician, kind of just like stereotypical Cyberse like magician dude. He just looks like a bigger version of Cyberse Wizard. But Cyberse Witch looks freaking awesome. I freaking love her design. New waifu material. Basically, this is going to be the Vrain's equivalent of Dark Magician Girl, isn't it? Anyway, so Cyberse Witch, Link 2, Dark Cyberse, Link Effect Monster, Attack 800, pretty meh stats in all honesty. Bottom left and bottom though, those are really good links, Link arrows I should say. Really, really good Link arrows, and it's pretty easy to summon, just needs 2 Cyberse monsters. Really awesome, easy to get out, and its effect more than makes up for its crappy stats. So you can only use each effect once per turn, and it's a hard once per turn, so if you get multiples out, you can't do multiples. So, if a monster is special summoned to your zone this card points to, you can banish 1 spell card from your graveyard and add 1 Cyberse Ritual Monster and 1 Signat Ritual from your deck to your hand. Really, really, really good spell card. Effect right there. So you just banish any of your spell cards, which Cyberse generally tend to run a lot of, and then you can get any of your ritual monsters and a Signat Ritual from your deck to your hand. Now, it does specifically say Signat Ritual in particular, but however, it doesn't for a Cyberse Ritual Monster, so again, we might get multiple ritual monsters. And of course we only got 1 ritual spell so far, but they could always circumvent that by having these future ritual spells be treated as Signat Ritual. Pretty simple overall. And then if you used her first effect, you can use her second effect, where during the main phase, if you activated its first effect, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Again, not only does this support the ritual theme, but it does also support the Link focus theme that Cyberse have always been focused on. Really, really, really just spectacular card overall. I freaking love it. I can't wait to play around with this and the new Cyberse stuff as well. Very, very powerful card. Very, very practical effects. I've seen people say that it's basically a +3 if you get both effects off, which it really kind of is. Really, really good effect overall. And we got 2 more monsters for the deck. SIMM Doubless. Level 5 Cyberse Effect Monster. Attack 0, 1800 defense. This dude over here kind of looks like a porcupine or a hedgehog, and it's adorable, and I love it. You can only use this card's name effect once per turn, so it's a hard once per turn. You can reveal this card from your hand and target a level 4 Cyberse monster in your graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand to your Link zone, a Link monster you control points to, and if you do, return that target to the hand. So, a few things to note. This is a basically free special summon. It gets you any of your level 4 Cyberse monsters back from the graveyard, and it can trigger your Cyberse Witch, among other things. So not only does this fulfill, again, the good old ritual aspect of it, well, the Link aspect, but it also really does add into the ritual aspect. It does really suck, though, that it can only grab level 4 Cyberse in particular, especially since one of the upcoming structure decks for Cyberse focuses on level 3s so heavily, and the deck plays a crap ton of level 3s, but hey, it's got some pretty good level 4s as well, so really good card overall. Can't wait to mess around with it. And then we got this weird dude, Cluster Congester. So is it just weird? Does he kind of look like one of the previous promos that looked like a Raid Raptor, but this looks basically like the same thing but differently? Just something I noticed. So Cluster's Congester, level 7 Light Cyberse, attack 1000, defense 2200. You can only use this card's first effect once per turn. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned while you control a Link monster, you can special summon while you do not control a Link monster, you can special summon 1 Congester token, Cyberse Dark level 1, attack 0, defense 0. And then once per turn during the battle step, if a Link monster you control was attacked Quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard and at Link Monster. Special summon a number of Congester tokens up to the number of Link Monsters your opponent controls. So, my biggest issue with this card is that you are never going to use that first effect. How are you getting this dude out on the field? And don't say that you can just use whatever happens to be the light version of freaking Giant Rat. Oh, wait, that's Angel something, I can't remember, because that's bad, okay? There's literally no particular reason to use this. There's no easy way of getting it out, unless I'm forgetting some random cyber support that gets this out easily, but however, in all seriousness, there's no reason to place a Cluster Congester for his first effect. I can, however, see people making the reason for using its second effect, because all you got to do is Fool's Burial it. Your opponent attacks into one of your dudes, you banish it and the monster that just got killed in battle, and then you get to summon out a crap ton of tokens, especially if you're going against like another Cyberse deck, or I don't know, World Chalice or something, you know, that's going to have like a crap ton of links out on the field. So while I do like the second effect, it's not particularly great. I really wish that you could just banish it into Link Monster from your graveyard, and that could be the hard once per turn, but I digress. The the effect is interesting, but it's not going to be anything particularly amazing. The only other really nice thing about it is that because it's level 7, it does fill the summoning requirements for the tribute fodder for good old Cypress Magician. But however, you can just use Dual Assemblum for that, and Dual Assemblum is actually playable. So, moving on. We got Link Devotee, which I don't know why, but this card... Oh, wait, no, that's not Link Devotee. This is Link Devotee. But this dude over here, who, Restoration Point Guard, reminds me a lot of Underclock Taker. I don't know if it's just a color scheme or something, but it looks like him to me. Anyway, so Link Devotee. Link 1 Earth Cypress Link effect monster, 500 attack, points top, and he needs a level 4 or lower Cyverse. You can only use this card's name's second effect once per turn. If this card is Link Summon, activate this effect. You cannot Link Summon Link 3 or higher Link monsters during this turn. If this co-linked card is tributed, you can special summon 2 Link tokens. Attack 0, defense 0, Cyberse Light level 1. Okay, so Link Devotee is cool. I kind of like the second effect where you get 2 tokens, but I hate that first effect where you can't go into anything higher than a Link 3. That is really... Oh wait, no, you can't go into a Link 3 or higher, so you can't even... the highest you can go into is a Link 2. That is stupid, and it's anytime it's special summon, not even if it's Link summon. So even if you like call the Haunted them back to use this effect, no, this is stupid. This card is honestly just garbage. The second effect I could almost get by if Signat Ritual let you tribute Link monsters using their arrows as counting as like the levels, you know, like a Link 1 counted as a level 1, so then you could count that towards it. That's the only way I would have accepted this having it on there. But you are not tribute summoning in Cyberse ever. Like, the only time that you are is if you're in a pure desperation move, and the only high level Cyberses you play have effects to summon themselves, so you never have to tribute summon anyway. So there's literally no reason to place Link Devotee. This thing is terrible. God, I like the artwork though. I don't know what the hell he's supposed to be, but he's cool looking. And then we got Restoration Point Guard. Link 2 Dark Cypress Link effect monster, 1000 attack, links left and bottom left. Pretty decent link arrows, useful in the main monster zone and the extra monster zone. You can only use the second effect once per turn. Once per turn, if another Link monster is Link summoned, you can activate this effect. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect during this turn. So this is anytime a monster is Link summoned. This isn't just for you. So if your opponent Link summons, you can use this effect and he can't be destroyed by battle or card effect for the remainder of the turn. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. It gives it a lot more utility and versatility. It just makes it where it's harder to kill, which is pretty nice. It makes your opponent have to like waste their resources or go into the battle phase first if they absolutely have to. Granted, he's not the hardest thing to kill. He's only got 1000 attack. Then a second effect. If this card is in your graveyard, if a Link monster that was Link summoned using this card as material is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card. That is really, really obnoxious. Okay. So imagine you make a firewall with this thing and like I don't know something else, and the firewall gets regeki'd. You can spell summon this dude, and then if your opponent link summons, you can just save himself from being killed, and then you can just link him into something else again next turn, and then proceed on with your combos. I really like this thing. It's a lot better than Link Devotee. I don't think it's going to be anything particularly amazing. I don't know if Cyberse are going to play it. The deck's extra deck space is super tight, and it's only getting even more tight with every time they get more support, which really does suck because Cyberse have a lot of cool stuff in the main deck and the extra deck. Now then, moving on, we got another card from Cybernetic Horizon, and that is Mirror Force Launcher, a continuous trap card that says once per turn during your main phase you can discard a monster and add 1 Mirror Force from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If this set card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can take this card from the graveyard and 1 Mirror Force from your hand, deck, or graveyard and set them to your field. The card set by this effect can be activated during the turn they are set. This card is really close to being stupid. I like it. Okay, so the first thing, Mirror Force is now searchable and recurable from the graveyard, which is really nice for like Critias decks because Mirror Force Dragon is pretty darn nutty, so now you can easily get back your Mirror Forces that you used. And then finally, secondly, if this set card is destroyed, you get it back, and then you get another Mirror Force. So this card, your opponent has to banish, and this effect is not a once per turn. It's anytime it's destroyed. So if your opponent, like, I don't know, Twin Twisters it, and then it comes back with the Mirror Force, and then your opponent, like, activates another one, or, I don't know, uses the True Draco spell effects to pop them, it's going to come back, and you're going to get another Mirror Force. This card is stupid. Almost. Okay? The big thing that kills this card, for me at least, is the naming in the text. It searches out Mirror Force in particular, as in only the original. And now you might be thinking, what? That's stupid. It says Mirror Force on there. Well, firstly, it doesn't say Mirror Force card. Secondly, all of the other Mirror Forces after the original have only been named Mirror Force in TCG. They all had like Barrier or Shield or something else in Japan. They were never called Mirror Force in Japan, which means even if it said Mirror Force card on this trap card, they would not be searchable at all. It's a really stupid naming gimmick. I hate it how that stuff is ruled. It's because it leads to a lot of confusion. Freaking Rainbow Dragon, for instance, for the longest time, due to the naming on it, led to a lot of rolling confusions compared to the OCG and the TCG. Then they only rectified it with the recent reprint of Rainbow Dragon. And I get the feeling when this card comes out in TCG, they're going to be like, you can discard a monster, add 1 Mirror Force, except Storming Mirror Force, Quaking Mirror Force. Like they're going to have to list them all, which is really stupid. So I don't know. I really like this card, though. I want to try it out in something. I don't think it's going to be anything particularly amazing, but it's such a troll card and messes with your opponent. Not to mention, since you can discard monsters with it, you can easily get stuff that you want in the graveyard, like a Fairy Tale Snow, Destiny Hero Malicious, something else. You know, I ran out of examples off the top of my head, but there's a lot of stuff you want in the graveyard nowadays. So this is pretty nice, and I get the feeling that a trap card oriented decks like Paleo and Altergeist might play it a lot. Now then, moving on, Summon Skull is getting a Ritual Monster, which is really cool. It was leaked a while back, but the picture was too blurry to be able to read, and yeah, a lot of people thought it was fake, but no, it's true. It's coming out in a premium pack. A special pack, 20th Anniversary Edition. It's the only new card in this pack. All other cards in the pack are reprints. Although you can generally try to guess what is going to get more support based off of what's in there. And honestly, if Summon Skull got a full archetype for him instead of just appearing in other archetypes like the Archfiends or the Red Eyes, I'd be completely fine with that. Like, he's one of the few classic cards from the original series that has yet to be a full archetype, and instead just popping up in other stuff. And God, I love this artwork. It's basically just the original Summon Skull, but with blue lightning instead of like regular lightning. And I think that's even the same stats, you know, attack, defense, levels, and everything. I don't know what the hell is up with Konami and Rituals all of a sudden, though. Anyway, so this is called Advent Skull Archfiend. So, for those who don't know, Advent is frequently used to refer to rituals back in the day, and they still are to an extent. So, it wouldn't surprise me if this card is literally just called Ritual Skull Archfiend over here, because for some reason, Konami's scared of putting Advent in TCG card text. Anyways, Dark Fiend Ritual Effect Monster, 2500 attack, 1200 defense, level 6. You can ritual summon this card with Contract with the Abyss. The oldest, well, one of the oldest generic rituals in the game. For those who don't know, it's a just generic ritual spell for any dark monster. Now, the cool thing is that you can see the flames from Contract and Abyss with the Abyss in the background. And the organization has a huge article that I forgot to pull up that details why this is, why it's particularly with Contract with the Abyss. There's Contract with the Abyss if you're curious. And also how it seems like Summon Skull is a reference to Lord of the Pit from Magic, which I highly recommend you read this article. It's incredibly interesting. I know nothing of Magic, but I still thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, so this card's name is treated as Summon Skull while it is in the Monster Zone. I really wish it was treated as it in the Graveyard, but considering one of its other effects, it kind of makes sense. This card is still treated as an Archfiend card. This card on the field cannot be destroyed by battle with non-ritual monsters and cannot be destroyed by non-ritual monsters' effects. So it's almost like... oh crap, what is it called? First of the Dragons, but for rituals, which is really, really cool. Except this, you have to run it over with a ritual. You have to pop it with a ritual. Now that being said, you can still pop it with a Regeki, Dark Hole, Kaiju, anything like that. But if your opponent doesn't happen to have those, and it's like game 1 or something, and you summon this, there's a lot of decks out there that can't get over this thing, which is hilarious. The only downside is that this thing doesn't actually do much. That is it in terms of its actual on-field effects, other than just being a beater. So if this ritual summon card in its owner's control is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect or by battle, you can spell summon one Summon Skull from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and that's why it's not treated as Summon Skull while in the graveyard. Otherwise you could just summon him back, which would be hilarious. But however, yeah, so it's pretty nice. Considering that it specifically summons Summon Skull, this gives me even more hope for a possible Summon Skull archetype. I doubt it, but again, it'd be really cool. Maybe in the Collector's Pack or something, which would be our Battles of Legend. I don't know. It would be really cool to see Summon Skull finally get some love. Who knows, might be one of the... Oh, wait, no, they already got Demise in Cybernetic Horizon, but who knows, maybe in the set after Cybernetic Horizon we might get a Summon Skull archetype, because Konami seems to like giving at least one nostalgic deck more support from the past every few sets or so. They were doing it one every set for a while, with Dark Magician Blue Eyes and Gaia. So no, I know Blackluster Soldier, which is also Gaia. So, then also I want to talk about the 2 starter deck cards that were leaked a little bit ago. So we got Text Changer, and then there's also this lion dude from a while ago. So Text Changer, Dark Cyberse Effect, level 1, 100 attack, 100 defense. I love the artwork, but this thing is just blah. Once per turn when a monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate that attack, then special summon one Cyberse normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay, this doesn't even redirect the attack or anything. It just summons the monster, and it's got to summon a Cyberse normal monster, which, yeah, there's a bunch of them, but their stats all range from just okay to mediocre, with the best one that you probably want to summon being this lion dude, and considering they're both in the same starter deck, that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Text Changer. I like his artwork, though. He's cute. But not a big fan of his actual effect. If it was once per turn you can just summon any Cyberse normal monster from your hand, deck, or grave, I'd be more down for that. That'd be really cool. But this isn't the case. Oh yeah, and then this is Leodron. It's just a normal monster. Signat Regression is a new trap card, which, if I remember right, this card actually has some viability. So, it's a normal trap card. You can only activate one card of this card's name per turn, so it's a hard once per turn. If you special summon a Link monster or monsters, you can target one card on the field, destroy it, then draw one card. So it's basically a 1-for-1 that then gets you another card, so it's technically a +1. Really nice, especially since there are so many ways to summon a Link monster, and it's any Link monster, it doesn't have to be a Cyberse. If we ever get a way to search Signat cards, this card would be really, really great. I do like this card a lot. It's a lot better than anything else I've seen in the starter deck so far, other than maybe the boss monster, who I can't even remember what that was called. Oh yeah, it's Transcode Talker. But yeah, this card, I like it. I don't know if people are actually going to play it unless like Signat gets a way to search stuff for Signats. I don't know. Anyways, guys, so what do you think of these new cards? I am super excited for pretty much everything except for this dude and this dude, even though he's cute. So guys, what do you think of this? What do you think of these cards? Leave your comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. It was your birthday. Happy birthday. See y'all later. Peace out and goodbye.